President Donald Trump was re-elected on a promise to wage an unprecedented trade war against the rest of the world. Trump has proposed a universal tariff of between 10 to 20% on all imports of goods into the United States.
A tariff of 10% on China based on the fact that they're sending fentanyl to Mexico and Canada.
See, I understand the tax code better than anybody that's ever run for president.
Obviously, he's tariff man, Trump, right?
I think tariffs are the most beautiful word. I think they're beautiful. It's going to make us rich.
These tariffs deeply affect the three major trading partners of the United States. Mexico, Canada, and the People's Republic of China are all major trading partners of the United States. But the People's Republic of China seems to be in the closest line of fire. Late last year, Trump announced plans to impose an additional 10% tariff on Chinese imports, citing Beijing's inadequate efforts to restrict the fentanyl trade. Following these announcements, it was highly anticipated how the trade relationship between the People's Republic of China and the United States would take shape. The Beijing government broke its silence. The government criticized Trump's decision and signaled a possible trade war. The People's Republic of China, just like the United States, made a stunning retaliatory move against Donald Trump by introducing a surprise regulation on economic tariffs. So could a new trade war between the parties take place? Could the era of free trade come to an end with Trump's return to the palace? For the answers to our questions and more, our video begins. On his first day back in office, Mr. Trump warned of a 25% tariff on goods from Mexico and Canada and a 10% tariff on Chinese imports. Mr. Trump also said he would impose tariffs of 60% or more on the People's Republic of China. This decision is expected to be implemented from February 1. The People's Republic of China's currency and stock markets fell during trading on Wednesday. The CSI 300 index, one of the country's leading indices, and the Shanghai Composite Index closed down about 1%. This represents their biggest decline in nearly 2 weeks and ends a brief respite for the markets. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index closed 1.8% lower. The offshore yuan, which trades free from the controls of Chinese financial authorities, also depreciated against the dollar. All this escalated tensions in the economic arena. Trump's long-planned plan of heavy tariffs against the People's Republic of China was meant to deal a major blow to the already weakening Chinese economy. A resurgent trade war would further destabilize the Chinese economy, but economists and tax experts agreed that it would also hurt the United States economy by raising prices for American consumers and could lead to supply chain disruptions, labor shortages, and a currency war with the People's Republic of China. Trump's targeting of Beijing could provide the People's Republic of China with new opportunities to move closer to traditional United States allies in Europe, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Japan. There has been a persistent concern that a tariff policy could make the People's Republic of China's global export push much more difficult, especially reaching United States markets, which are still very important despite the political difficulties between the two countries. The biggest fear on the Beijing regime's side was the uncertainty about what the 60% tariff on goods from the People's Republic of China actually meant. It was not simple to define where the goods came from, as there were different rules of origin. Despite these uncertainties and risks, the People's Republic of China has stepped up its competition against the United States in what has been called its economic war. The Chinese Ministry of Commerce announced the addition of 28 companies to the export control list to protect national security and interests. The Beijing regime has also banned the export of dual-use products with both civilian and military applications to these companies. In response to United States export restrictions on semiconductors, Beijing announced that, as a general principle, it has banned exports to the United States of gallium, germanium, antimony, and other key high-tech materials with potential military applications. The Chinese Ministry of Commerce confirmed this reaction after Washington expanded the list of Chinese companies subject to export controls on computer chip manufacturing equipment, software, and high-bandwidth memory chips. The Chinese Foreign Ministry also issued a stern warning. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said that We have always believed that there are no winners in trade wars and customs wars. Ning reiterated that the People's Republic of China strongly opposes the United States over expanding the concept of national security, abusing export control measures, and imposing illegal unilateral sanctions and long-term jurisdiction against Chinese companies. These statements, coupled with the decision to restrict exports of gallium, germanium, antimony, and other important high-tech materials with potential military applications to the United States, signaled that the People's Republic of China was indeed pulling out all the stops. In fact, it was clear that the People's Republic of China would make a move on such materials as early as 2023. In July 2023, the People's Republic of China announced that it would require exporters to apply for licenses to ship strategically important materials such as gallium and germanium to the United States. In August, the People's Republic of China's Ministry of Commerce suggested it would restrict exports of antimony, which is used in products ranging from batteries to weapons, and impose stricter controls on graphite exports. Such minerals are considered critical to national security. According to a 2021 United States International Trade Commission report, the People's Republic of China is a major producer of antimony, which is used in flame retardants, batteries, night vision goggles, and nuclear weapons production. The limits announced by Beijing also cover the export of super-hard materials, such as incompressible and extremely dense diamonds and other synthetic materials. These are used in many industrial fields such as cutting tools, disc brakes, and protective coatings. With its moves to restrict exports of such materials to the United States, the Chinese side argues that it is protecting itself. According to the United States Geological Survey, the United States buys about half of both gallium and germanium metals directly from the People's Republic of China. In 2022, the People's Republic of China exported about 23 metric tons, or 25 tons, of gallium and produces about 600 metric tons, or 660 tons, of germanium annually. There are deposits of such minerals in the United States, but there are not yet efforts to extract them. However, some ongoing projects are exploring ways to exploit these resources. Export restrictions imposed by the People's Republic of China have had a mixed effect on the prices of these critical minerals. The price of antimony has more than doubled this year to over $25,000 per ton. The prices of gallium, germanium, and graphite have also mostly increased. These price increases are likely to contribute to an intensification of tensions between the United States and the People's Republic of China. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, Chinese Vice Premier Ding Xuexiang called for a win-win solution to trade disputes, without mentioning the United States. On Chinese social media, the United States president's threat was met with mixed reactions. Some internet users said the 10% tariff could be followed by a series of duties on Chinese goods, while others criticized Trump for being unpredictable and inconsistent in his decisions. Some analysts say the threat to impose tariffs from February 1 could be a negotiating gambit by the United States president to extract concessions from the People's Republic of China. Compared to the 25% tariffs Trump has threatened to impose on Mexico and Canada, the 10% tariff on Chinese imports gives the impression that Trump is being soft on the People's Republic of China. The threat reflects Trump's willingness to make some kind of deal with Beijing. After all, the United States cannot easily break with the People's Republic of China. Economic and geopolitical competition with the People's Republic of China has become an obsession for the American political elite. The Trump administration first imposed tariffs on the People's Republic of China in 2018, which were maintained by his successor and further extended in 2024. One of the reasons why the Trump administration is moving towards the idea of using universal tariffs is that People's Republic of China-focused tariffs have failed to reduce the overall United States deficit in trade in goods, which exceeds $1 trillion per year from 2021 to 2024. The Trump administration's focus on Mexico and Canada reflects the fact that they, along with the People's Republic of China, are the largest source of America's goods imports, each exceeding $400 billion in 2023. But the Trump team makes the mistake of thinking of the global economy as a series of bilateral trade relationships, when in fact it is a complex and highly integrated system of interconnections. The decline and stagnation of the United States-People's Republic of China trade relationship since 2018 obscures how supply chains have adapted with Chinese components routed to the final assembly line in Southeast Asian countries. In a still highly integrated world economy, the People's Republic of China's competitive manufacturing and dominance in goods exports make it an inevitable partner, and its stagnant domestic economy increases its dependence on export power. The imbalance highlighted by the Trump administration is certainly real. It has long been known that the United States economy is heavily skewed towards consumption rather than production, and vice versa for the People's Republic of China. The gross savings rate in the People's Republic of China is more than twice the level in the United States. The People's Republic of China's low consumption and high savings provide the basis for massive investment in production and the subsequent consumption of goods elsewhere. This relationship shapes the world economy. The United States consumes an enormous amount of goods, and the People's Republic of China provides most of them. By 2030, the People's Republic of China is expected to account for a staggering 45% of all global industrial production. Trade imbalances on this scale are a problem for the global economy. For many years, lone voices on the left have argued that the goal of trade efficiency should be balanced with other goals, such as supporting jobs and protecting the environment. Today, however, the idea that trade should not be free but dependent on the political choices we make has much broader support. Many conservatives who are hawkish in the competition with the People's Republic of China are now agitating very loudly against American economic dependence on supply chains. While this American turn raises important questions about supply chain resilience, the relationship between trade and human rights, and how to design industrial policies that deliver the results we want, Trump's strongman nationalism offers no serious answers. The Trump administration wants to devalue the dollar to improve the export performance of United States goods, but tariffs, their only clear instrument of choice, will not do that. While tariffs increase the cost of imported goods in the American market, this in no way implies a weaker dollar. The overall strength of the United States economy and the importance of its market for global exporters means that tariffs will put downward pressure on the currencies of the states subject to them. Add to this the inflationary impact of the tariffs and Trump's expansionary fiscal policy, which will prompt the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates. So, instead of a weaker dollar, the result will be the opposite, unless the Trump administration starts from the analysis that the trade deficit is closely linked to a combination of two domestic imbalances, one in the United States, which is an imbalance from consumption to investment, and the opposite in the People's Republic of China. Its policies will not work. Achieving the rebalancing of global trade that the Trump administration claims to want will require multilateral cooperation. This implies thinking holistically about the global economy and its rules, addressing not only trade in goods, but also services, finance, and capital flows. Some in the Republican Party are asking these questions. The conservative think tank American Compass has identified financial liberalization as the critical source of trade imbalances. Vice President J.D. Vance has even argued that the dollar's role as the global reserve currency is a huge subsidy to American consumers, but a huge tax on American producers. However, any move towards greater control over capital movements would put the Trump administration on a collision course with Wall Street, which seems unlikely. In the Trump camp, there is a group of far-right billionaires like Elon Musk. Musk sees his authoritarianism as a vehicle for their own brand of economic libertarianism, favouring subsidies and government spending when it suits their interests. These supporters would oppose the idea of capital controls. Trump has also threatened to impose massive tariffs on states that want to de-dollarize, and Treasury Secretary nominee Scott Bessent has confirmed that the administration will maintain the dollar's position as the global reserve currency. A more moderate proposal is to reach out to Beijing to agree on a plan for dollar devaluation. Shaheen Valley suggests that Trump could launch a multilateral initiative to agree on a package of coordinated measures. But this would require reducing the United States budget deficit, an endeavour made much more difficult in the context of the administration's plans for massive tax cuts. But all of these proposals assume that the Trump administration will be able to develop policies with the general interest in mind. Trump's own statements offer little reason to anticipate this. Consider how his team has previously hinted at exploiting ideological divisions within the European Union. Trump's tendency to link trade policies to non-trade issues, such as immigration and the fight against drugs, can be applied to European states to offer mutual benefits aimed at circumventing European Union institutions. While European Union states share a common external tariff, Trump may be inclined to offer unilateral tariff reductions to his far-right thinkers in exchange for deals that benefit their networks and have nothing to do with trade. Since Viktor Orban's Hungary is a landlocked state, it cannot match any United States tariff concessions, but it may have something else to offer the Trump team. In the United States, it is also quite possible that tariffs are full of exemptions and exclusions and provide obvious ways to make kleptocratic deals with corporate lobbyists. Trump should not then be read as the champion of Wall Street against Main Street, or as the head of a political faction that seeks to mobilize the powers of the American state administration to redesign its domestic economy and foreign trade relations. Instead, it might be better to analyze Trumpism as representing an oligarchy in which institutions are captured, political power is exchanged for economic power and vice versa, in order to achieve sectional advantages for supporters. The transactionalism underlying this policy approach is likely to be reflected in the administration's trade policy, with potentially chaotic and contradictory effects. While things remain uncertain in the trade arena, the United States is not neglecting to give the People's Republic of China a historic opportunity. Donald Trump has decided to withdraw from the World Health Organization. The decision could deal a fatal blow to the cash-strapped United Nations organization, which the United States founded in 1948. But the move has also created a huge opportunity for America's biggest rival, the People's Republic of China. If Beijing is willing to cover even a fraction of the financial gap left by America's exit, it could rewrite its complicated relationship with the World Health Organization and reclaim a new position as the undisputed champion of global health. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said that the role of the World Health Organization should only be strengthened, not weakened. It is hard to underestimate the financial crisis that America's departure could create for the World Health Organization, or the panic that those inside the organization are probably feeling today. Trump's move is not unexpected. He tried to do the same thing towards the end of his first term. But military analysts understand that many inside the organization hope that the new president will try to strike a new deal instead. For now, however, the World Health Organization faces an enormous financial deficit. The United States is the agency's biggest donor. Records show that America contributed a total of $958 million to the agency in 2024. That is almost 1/5 of the annual budget. The People's Republic of China's contributions pale in comparison, totaling $203 million. The country currently ranks 8th on the donor scale, behind organizations like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the World Bank, as well as countries like Germany and the United Kingdom. But there are several ways in which the People's Republic of China can increase its contributions. The World Health Organization has several funding arms. These are mandatory contributions, which are largely based on a country's gross domestic product, and voluntary contributions for specific programs or issues. By the first measure, America and the People's Republic of China's contributions are not much different, $260 million versus $175 million. This difference is linked to the second mechanism. The United States has provided nearly $700 million in voluntary funding, while the People's Republic of China has offered less than $30 million in 2024. Part of this is due to the People's Republic of China's preference for bilateral agreements. For example, only a small fraction of World Health Organization-channeled funds go to Africa to fund programs in Senegal and Namibia. Yet, the People's Republic of China has invested billions on the continent through agreements with the African Union and the controversial Belt and Road Initiative. And United States funding for the World Health Organization is used in more than 45 African countries and supports the United Nations Organization's regional office. Yes, the People's Republic of China is big in health, but not always through the World Health Organization. They do a lot of things bilaterally. We saw this in the pandemic treaty. They just sit and wait and watch. They are not big actors here. So yes, it could be a big opportunity for the People's Republic of China. But do they really care about the World Health Organization? Or do they care more about maintaining a broader influence bilaterally? He said the country has had an incredibly complicated relationship with the World Health Organization, especially since the pandemic, which could further constrain their willingness to throw a financial lifeline to the United Nations organization. But making such a choice could give Beijing a huge political win at a very affordable price, potentially giving it more influence over the organization. It is unclear which other countries, including the People's Republic of China, could take a more active role in the World Health Organization in the absence of the United States. This more active role could come with more influence over the organization's activities. In sum, Donald Trump's return to the White House has brought many uncertainties. In the geopolitical arena, balances from trade to health have been upset. It remains to be seen how these balances will take shape in the coming days. We will wait and see. Thank you for watching us.